Yo, people, deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Now we're live. People, big up yourselves, people. First and foremost, I'm seeing 55 of you. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Yeah, none of you are dreaming. Arsenal won 3-0. We could have made it 4. I repeat, none of you are dreaming. Arsenal scored 3. They could have scored 4. We conceded at the end. Tammy Abraham will take that. What Arsenal fan wouldn't have taken that? What Arsenal fan wouldn't have taken not keeping a clean sheet versus taking 3 points, in a London derby? Big Sam Allardyce has been speaking a lot about Arsenal and how we're direct rivals. I think we've done very well in this game to take 3 points. Brighton is a game that's going to be difficult, and then obviously we've got to play West Brom, so we've set ourselves up in the right way. First and foremost, congratulations to Arteta and Arsenal. We're very quick to bash them. By that same logic, you have to keep the same energy. You have to give praise where due, people. You have to give credit where due. I'll get into it, but I don't think too much should change. But first and foremost, people, please make sure you're hitting the like button. And I want to see what you lot are saying first and foremost, because I've been talking a lot. Much improved performance. You're right. Fully was. Cads is saying it was a great game. Boss gets a 9 today. Trust. We'll get onto the player rating soon. Whatever the boss did at Xmas must continue. You're right. Whatever they did yesterday on the training ground, because I can't imagine they had Christmas off. They had to have participated in some sort of training. They've done quite well. Good performance. I'm definitely cautiously optimistic. For me, my guy, and this is what I wanted to speak about later, but I'm just going to speak about it now. And apologies, I'm making a note so I know where to clip this up, people. For me, don't get it twisted. This is a fantastic result. Like I said, I speak for all rational gooners when you're of the thinking like me, where you praise and critique fairly. You might have your question marks whether Arteta is the manager or whether he's a good manager or not, but his tactics today, you're going to give him his dues and whatnot. You might not believe in Pablo Mari, definitely in Granit Xhaka or Bellerin in particular, or even Lacazette, but you can conclude that today, on a game-by-game basis, you've got to give credit where due, and man to a man in a good way. You can't pick out a man in the match. Now, my problem is this. Now, it's a fantastic performance, and like I said, you have to consider there's two truths. Like I said, it's a fantastic performance. They saved our Christmas. I'm pretty sure, like you lot, there's a whole heap of food in you lot's fridges, and all different sorts of meats. If we got battered today like we thought, definitely how we've been playing in the lineup to a degree, I guarantee you not too many of you would have had an appetite. But now we can eat, we can drink, the games can continue. But this is where my problem is, and not to put a sour on it, but for me, this is why we should keep this same energy in relation to asking the board question marks and things, because this is what typically happens with Arsenal. We know there's been a lot of problems as a club, but when we win a game, we don't want to talk about it. When we lose and we get battered, we want to say, yeah, the club, the manager, the players, this, that, and the other. And you definitely can't get at the players or the manager today. I'm not saying get at them. I'm saying let's keep the same energy with the board. It's January next week. Make sure you bring a creative man in, or you bring in a centre half, 2 areas that we've just seen us being linked with and heard we're looking at, or you bring in a couple of midfielders. Do you get it? Because this result's great, but we all know these players are hot and cold. They do this, and what happens if we lose to Brighton? We need to keep the same energy in wanting change, because this shouldn't be something we praise in a day and age where the Premier League, not that we shouldn't praise it, but in a day and age where everyone can beat everyone in the Premier League. You lot know every week there's a mad result. Why are we praising the fact that we actually looked like half a team today? This should be the minimum. For the players and the boss, it's down to them to work on that, because desire, work ethic, I saw men that were scared to let each other down today. They didn't want to be the reason that all the hard work we've built up during the week going into this game, and obviously missing Christmas, not for nothing. I saw that. I saw tactics today. I saw proactiveness. For me, I don't really care about the tactics. The tactics is one thing. We've got tactics or lack of, but tactics can be coached. You can't coach heart. You can't coach desire. And that's where my problem is, and why we should keep up asking for change, because heart, desire, there's no good. I'm not trying to be sour, but there's no good showing it to me 5 times a season, because you know what? 3 more. You showed it to me against Chelsea, showed it to me against United. There might be a couple of other wins dotted around the season, but listen, it's a 38-game period. This should be the minimum. Heart, desire, work rate, galvanized, listening to your manager actually having a clear way of playing, players standing up to be counted and taking personal accountability, in a healthy way, can't find a man of the match. This should be minimums, you know. There's a way you lose games. If we lose games in this manner where there's desire, there's work ethic, you know, we're soldiers in the trenches, fans don't have an issue. But too often than not, this hasn't become the minimum. That's the minimum effort. That performance should be framed up, and that's where you look to go upon people. That is it. But we've showed it in the FA Cup last year, so it is there. It's just not there consistently enough, and we need to demand more of this club and demand that this club shows it to us on a consistent basis. How much of that can be done with our current playing squad, I don't know. Like I said, give credit to Xhaka and Bellerin, for example. They were quality today. Quality. We're very vocal when they played poor. They were superb today. But what happens if they play dumb against Brighton, or the whole team messes about against Brighton? We're back to square one. Yes, it's lovely that we won. Yes, it's lovely Christmas isn't ruined. But let's keep the same energy in wanting change. You know, Arteta might be the man, he might not. There might be something in how he coaches, there might not. We're only going to get real change when we demand excellence from Kroenkes. Because when I think of Arsenal Football Club, I should think of soldiers in the trenches, fighting to get a result. I should 100% desire. I shouldn't say what I've been saying for weeks. And like I said, this is a fantastic result. I'm over the moon. Like I said, I'm gonna do it in a sec, but we're gonna talk about Bellerin for a while. We're gonna talk about all these guys for a while. Game by game basis is credit where due, but you got to look at the statistics now. We've still lost more games than we've won this season. There's still 20 or double figure amount of games to play this season. It's what these players make it. Now, if they want to show this same performance, then they'll have half a chance of salvaging something out of their season. The problem is, it's easier said than done. You've got to want it all the time when the cameras are not off and things like that. Credit to your manager, because like I said, you know, in a healthy way, not to take anything from Arteta, because his management was great today, in my opinion. You know, the third goal in particular was a goal from last season. That was an FA Cup. That was the goal I saw. And that's down to the boys being brave on the ball. That's also down to Arteta giving the freedom and actually working with them and getting them back to basics. But that has to become the minimum. These, you know, it's easy to be up for it 5 times or so. It's definitely hard enough to be at it week in, week out. Like I said, the boys probably didn't get too much of a Christmas last night. They probably could have one juice, literally one, have a little dinner, but they couldn't overindulge. Now, today, you know, Arteta probably said, Arteta himself probably wants a little time to spend with his family. So you lot get the day off tomorrow or whatever. You know, think about the positives. Take pride in this performance because you started off well this game and you saw it through. You know, I saw Xhaka passing the ball forward. I saw Bellerin putting in good crosses. I'm seeing El Nene pass the ball forward. I'm seeing Lacazette looking kind of quick. I thought it was a movie, people. Like I said, frame it all up in a healthy way. Frame it all up. Take the positives. Enjoy this evening. Enjoy tomorrow, because I think they should have some family time. It'd be a good reward. Enjoy the fact of whatever you lot worked on all week this week is paid off with a good win against Chelsea. You know, go back to the analytical stuff and look at the goal we conceded, because I think that's more of the same. But take it, frame it, and then come Monday, start again. We ain't achieved nothing. You know, we've got Brighton in a couple of days now. When last did we beat Brighton at home? Last time we beat Brighton, we played Brighton, it was negative. So now that's what I want to see. Enjoy the result, but come tomorrow/Monday morning, it's gone now. We ain't achieved nothing. We ain't done nothing. And that's what we need to demand of this club. We cannot shut up about this right now, people. It needs to keep going on, or it's not going to get better. Please make sure you hit the like button. Like my man said, it can't be nothing but facts. This is why we need to demand it. This needs to become the minimum, people. Because the facts are the same, people. We're still in a relegation fight. You know, it's a good win. You know, definitely because we ain't been winning. And like I said, credit man to a man, but we need more in it. And we need more in the market. These players are hot and cold. Xhaka, I'm not criticizing. Xhaka was amazing today. That free kick, we're going to get onto it. Free kick, amazing. You know, El Nene bossed it, you know. Defenders bossed it. But how many of these players can we say, you know, are going to do this week in, week out? And for me, I'm not getting at the players. I'm saying we need to ask the board to make sure they do something in the market. The market is next week. You're only going to save this season if you bring a man in my humble opinion. If you don't bring a man in the creative role and help Arteta, he's not going to get there, because And in a healthy way, big up the players, because like I said, I want fans. It's in our best interest to say, all right, cool. You know what? We've been onto Bellerin, but this might be the thing where Bellerin goes on. True say he's got 2-3 assists this season prior to this game. You know, he's still his first season under Arteta. All right, cool. I know we've been on to Xhaka. He never said sorry, he got a red card, but this is a perfect way to shut up fans. Lacazette, you know, is it a new deal thing? Is it not? These are the good. I want fans to speak about this. Arsenal, because this means our players are playing well. Apologies. I can't pick out a man of the match today because I think it's Tierney, but then Saka played well. This is what I want. But these players, they're not going to... It comes down to mentality, because you can't engineer mentality. What I saw today was a team looking like a football team, but they need to be at it all the time. But the only way that's going to change is if we make consistent changes. Because for me, they'll see you know, to be cynical, are the board happy, or is Kroenke happy that we've won because we've won a football match and we've stopped the rut and lock and we've stopped how we're playing, or is it because cool, they're gonna stop asking questions about Arteta? There might be less of a talk on the Kroenkes. We might shut up just that bit about transfers. If we lose to Brighton, it gets long. You know, obviously Arteta's probably bought himself a couple extra weeks. But this is it. This is what Arsenal do, because let's be real. You know, we should have kept the same energy, as I was saying, towards the end when Arteta came in and we won the FA Cup. We shut up about it because, you know, Arteta was doing. We need to keep the same energy. We need to stop waiting until doom and gloom is there till we make more change. And for me, like I said in my last live stream, for me, games like this or results like this is where we should be demanding of the board a bit more, because this should be the minimum. I shouldn't have to praise heart, desire, work ethic, and all of these things. Consistency, you know, these should be a given. Like I said, isolated to the game, I'm a static man to a man. Leno saving penalties, big up Leno. Marie, I know he conceded the pen, but I think he held it up. Holding, like Marie, I think they played very well against Tammy Abraham. Tierney, man of the match for me, give or take. You know, Bellerin as well, man of the match. Captain. Many people, you know, would have been shocked that Bellerin started, let alone being captain on Christmas Day. They thought it was a mad thing. He was a captain because he led by example and he was very vocal today. Think him and a number of players went asleep for the first goal, but I think he was quality today. You know, midfield, El Nene, I saw Lacazette getting onto you for passing it backwards, but you did your thing today. Xhaka bossed it today. You know, two players that if this went negative, we're looking at Arteta and saying, yo, why are you starting Donny? You know, as well as getting onto those players. So everybody's in the headlines for the right reasons now. We're talking about players for the right reasons and in the right way now. And this is what I want to hear, people. This is where we all want to be. But this is why we should be a bit more demanding, because our football club and listen, we're never going to be Bayern Munich anytime soon. But nobody can tell me there's not a core here with the stadium we've got, with a selected few of them players, that if somebody who gave a crap about football owned it, we could do something. And I'm not saying that means winning league titles. No one could tell me Arsenal can't rise again. There's basics there.